Hello, everybody, and welcome to Principles of Marketing here at ETSU. My name is Matthew Harrison, and I will be your instructor for this semester. This is the 100% online section of Principles of Marketing. So, if you are not aware of that, hopefully you are aware now. That being said, although this is a totally online course, and even though we don't have any face-to-face meetings throughout the semester, I do try to make some type of video lecture for you each week, just to give you that same sort of in-person feel as you would have in a real class. Just so you know, I'm a real person back here. I do read all of your papers and answer your emails and get back to you. So I'm not a robot back here. That being said, hopefully you will enjoy those face-to-face lectures. We're starting this week with just sort of an introduction to the syllabus and welcoming you to the class. And then for each chapter that we cover in the course, you will have a YouTube video lecture about the content covered in that chapter. So my goal for this video is just kind of to go through, hit the highlights of the course, and hopefully answer any questions that you may have on the front end. In the event that you do have any kind of question, I've listed my email address for you here. Please feel free to shoot me an email at any time. I always do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible. I remember having those professors in undergrad who just, it took them like forever, it felt like, to answer your emails. So I try to not be that person. I pretty much live on my email and generally always respond within no more than 48 hours, usually less than 24, honestly. But occasionally, if I'm really busy or grading or something, it may take a little longer. But definitely somewhere between 24 and 48 hours, you'll always get a response from me, and usually sooner. Please make sure as you email that you use the email address listed here. It is harrisonmt1@etsu.edu. Please do not forget the 1. A lot of students do that. There are actually 3 Matthew Harrisons who work at ETSU, one being me, of course. There's another guy in the College of Business as well, and he is just Harrison MT. And then there's another Matthew Harrison who works in the chemistry department. So we're constantly like exchanging emails, and once we even got each other's paychecks, and that was fun. But anyway, please make sure that you include the 1 here on my email. That's very important so that your email gets to me. Okay. Like I said, this is an introductory course, so we'll be talking a lot about a lot of different topics, and the goal here, if you're a marketing major, this is the first course you take in a series of marketing courses, whereas if you are just a general business student, everyone has to have principles of marketing if you're graduating with a BBA. So, like I said, we'll cover a lot of different topics, some more in depth than others. If you find that you really, really enjoy a certain topic, like consumer behavior is something students usually really like, and social and mobile marketing is a big buzzword in today's society. So if you find that you're really enjoying those particular subjects, you can actually take an entire class on pretty much any of the subjects that we'll spend just a week on this semester. So it is a lot of information, and that's why you have the YouTube video to help you and some other resources. So that being said, this is the textbook that we're going to be using for our course. It is Gruhl and Levy. The title is just Marketing. I'm giving you the option of purchasing the 6th edition, or you may purchase the 7th edition, whichever you choose. The 7th edition is shown here with the granola bars on the front. The 6th edition is just 1 year earlier, and it actually has a picture of a chocolate strawberry on the front. Anyway, I'm giving the option of choosing either one. The 7th edition is new and therefore very, very expensive, whereas the 6th edition is currently renting on Amazon and Chegg for about $25-ish. So a lot of students elect to go with that 6th edition. There's not a huge difference in the content at all. I've been using Gruhl and Levy's books forever, even since they had like the 1st edition. So there's not a huge difference in the 6th and the 7th. If you choose you want to go with the 6th, that's fine. You may just have some differences in page numbers and stuff like that, which is not a big deal. So just keeping that in mind. If you prefer an ebook, that's totally cool as well. Some people like the physical book, so you can write in it and highlight and whatnot. That is completely up to you as to which one you choose. It does not matter to me. Um, this is how your grade will be determined this semester. And basically, each week we're kind of doing the same type of thing. So basically, your week is going to start by reading the chapter. Some weeks we have only one chapter, and others we have two. It just depends on the certain week. You'll be able to look at the course calendar in just a moment and see the weeks where you have one, the weeks where you have two, and you can plan ahead. But generally speaking, every week you're going to read the chapter. After you've read the chapter, I'd like for you to go ahead and watch the YouTube video lecture and kind of hear those highlights revisited for you, so they'll hopefully stick out in your brain. After you've read the chapter and watched the YouTube video, I'd like for you to practice a little bit using the Quizlet. I made a Quizlet for every chapter, so you'll be able to practice and study a little bit, make sure you know what you're doing. And then you'll have some type of quiz each week over what we're learning. The quizzes are cumulative in nature. So the first week of the course, you're going to cover chapters 1 and 5. And then the second week, we'll move on to chapter 4. So when you go on to take your chapter 4 quiz, that quiz will include not only questions from chapter 4, but also questions from chapters 1 and 5. And then in the third week, when you go into chapter 6, that quiz will cover content not only from chapter 6, but also from chapters 1, 5, and 4. So it will continue building with the goal that by the time we reach the end of the class and you get to the final exam, you'll be super prepared, you'll feel very comfortable, and you'll know what you're doing and not be stressed. This final exam is a departmental exam that is the same for all marketing faculty. So my goal is that by the time you've gotten through the course with the quizzes and all the written assignments, you'll feel very prepared for that final. So not to digress, as I said, you will begin by reading the chapter. Spend some time listening to the YouTube video lecture, complete the Quizlet for that chapter, and then the reading quiz. After you've done that, you'll have some type of written assignment. And these written assignments vary from marketing application responses to case studies and to discussion boards. All of your assignments will open on Monday at 8 a.m. and will close on Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. You do have the ability to work ahead in the event that you have a really busy week. You may go ahead and begin working ahead for that next week. As to how you choose to complete the content, that is completely up to you. Some students like to break it up and do one little thing a day. Other people like to try to get it all done in a couple of days. However works for you is fine, and that's sort of the beauty of an online class. You can do it on your own schedule and do it how it best fits into your life. So that's very exciting. I would caution you, please not to wait until Sunday at 5 o'clock to begin your assignments. If you do that, I won't say that you won't be successful, but generally speaking, the trend in the past is that it's very obvious when reading your assignments, the students who spent time with the Quizlet and reading the chapter and watching the video, as opposed to those who maybe tried to rush through at the last minute. So please make sure you're allotting adequate time for your studies each week. I'll go into detail about each of these assignments in just a moment and how the written assignments are different and sort of the requirements for those in just a moment. This is the grading scale for our course, so you can kind of see how your grade will be determined. And I put a little asterisk here. I do accept late work because I do know that things happen and life gets crazy sometimes, and it's just not possible for you to get to your assignment. But especially with the ability to work ahead and sort of do the class on your own schedule, I do subtract 10 points for each day that your assignment is late. So that means if it's due on Sunday at 11:59 and you turn it in on, at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., you're going to lose 10 points there. If you submit it 3 days late, you're going to lose 30 points, so on and so forth. Obviously, with 10 points being subtracted per day, after 10 days have passed, assignments will no longer be accepted. So please make sure you are staying on top of your assignments. It's very easy to get behind, especially in an online class. So please make sure that you're staying on top of those things. I will send out a weekly announcement emails telling you, this week, this is what you have to do. This is what's due next Sunday at midnight. I send those out every Sunday, usually Sunday night. and tell you what you have to do for the upcoming week, and then you have the week to work on it. So, and of course, you'll have the course calendar, which is listed here at the end of the syllabus, so you can go ahead and mark all of your due dates. But that being said, we've already talked about the quizzes and how those work. Your remaining assignments, your marketing application responses, your case studies, and your discussion boards are all similar, but different at the same time. So what you have to do each week is the same. You're required to answer whatever question is posed. Okay, so whether that's in a marketing application response, a case study, or a discussion, obviously answer the question. Okay, once you've done that, I do want you to make sure that you've included 2 chapter concepts or key terms. At the end of every chapter in Gruhl and Levy's book, there is a list of key terms. Please make sure that you've included all of those key terms, or I'm sorry, at least 2 of those key terms in your write-up for that week. You also need to make sure that you include at least 2 external sources. These external sources usually come from some type of peer-reviewed journal article and are usually intended to be a scholarly source. There's actually a post in D2L telling you how to find a scholarly source if you're not familiar with those. But the library, the database, is a great place to search for these sources. Google Scholar is also a wonderful source. You can use either of those. But you definitely want to include at least 2 external sources. Our textbook does not count as an external source because it is internal to our course. The video lectures also do not count as an external source for the same reason. So, in summary, for all of your assignments, you'll need to make sure that you answer the question, you have 2 key terms from your textbook, from the chapter we're studying that week, and that you have 2 external sources. You should cite your sources using APA format, and it's helpful if you bold or underline your chapter concepts. So for marketing application responses, we will be submitting these as well as case studies to the Dropbox. For our discussion boards, it's the same type of thing. You're still going to be answering a question. You're going to be including 2 key terms and 2 external sources, which come from scholarly sources. And then you're going to upload that to the discussion board as a PDF. So you're actually typing like a paper, and I'll show you an example of what that may look like in just a moment. But once you have uploaded your response to the discussion board, I would also like for you to discuss, hence the term discussion board. So take the time to actually read your classmates' post and then reply to them. I would like to see that you have your discussion board post up by Wednesday at 11:59 of each week. That would give you Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to then make some replies to classmates and actually have a conversation with your peers. You are required to reply to at least 2 of your peers to receive full credit. Now, I do understand that people work and have jobs, and maybe it's not always possible for you to get your post up by Wednesday. So if that's not possible for you, completely understand. But please do make sure that you're reading and interacting with your peers. Okay, I know I've given you a lot of information here, so I just want to break for a moment and tell you a few things that I think will help you with our course. So this is our course homepage in D2L. If you click on the content section up here from the tab at the top, it's going to load some information for you. I don't know why it went to week 7. Here under general course information, you can find a lot of good stuff. And my Wi-Fi is being slow for some reason. Here we go. You can see the syllabus is posted here for you, obviously. And there is a section titled Submission Template. Now, don't let this scare you. You do not have to use this template if you do not want to. Okay, let me just be very clear in saying that. Some people just, especially the first couple of weeks as you're getting used to sort of the formatting requirements, get a little stressed. So I like to give you this to help you. This submission template, if it ever loads, will show you just a general way that you can respond to every question. So whether you're doing a discussion board, you're doing a case study, or you're doing a marketing application response, this template will work for everything. You have your name, the title of your submission, and the date. You have your 2 key terms, which are underlined. I don't care if you put the page number. I just did that as an example, but just make sure your key terms are there. They're underlined. Answer the question or questions posed. and include your references here at the end. So some people need that just to kind of give you some guidance. So that's there. I want to show you an example of what a completed template looks like, and also have a couple examples of some discussion boards that students have done. One used the template and one did not. So I'll just show you some examples here. This is a completed template. You can see they used vendor managed inventory as their key term. They've answered the question here, and you'll see they have parenthetical citations in APA format showing when they've incorporated an external source. Again, for their second question, you can see their key term where they've answered the question, and then they have some parenthetical citations here as well. And at the end, they've listed their sources in APA format. So on a totally different note, here's a paper from a student who did not use the submission template, which is totally fine. They've included their key term. They have fully answered the question. You can see they have lots of sources throughout here, and it goes on and on and on. This was an A paper. She did a really good job answering all the questions and using plenty of sources. So it's pretty lengthy here. She did a very good job fully answering the question, and then she has her references here at the end. Another example from another student, same kind of thing. You can see her sources, her key term is underlined here. She's answered the question. Her sources are in parentheticals here. And then at the end, she has her references. So you can see she did a very good job as well of answering the question. So again, if you don't like the template, you don't have to use it. This is just an example. Okay, so that's there for you here again under the general course information if you need it. For those of you guys who have never used APA formatting before, I know it can be a little tricky. So I've given you a cheat sheet on APA rules, a sample APA format paper, and some links to some different places where you can find these external sources. Guys, it is a departmental requirement that all Principles of Marketing courses use these external sources. So that's why they're here. So please make sure that you are following those rules. Okay. If you have never used the Purdue OWL, it is fabulous. It will change your life, whether you're using APA or MLA or Chicago or whatever formatting style. The Purdue OWL is wonderful in telling you how to cite pretty much any source you could possibly need. So that is there for you. And then there's a little tutorial here at the end about how to save your documents as a PDF. I do ask that you please save everything you turn in as a PDF. So whether it's a discussion board and you're uploading that file, or it's a marketing application response, or it's a case study, whatever it might be, please make sure that you save it as a PDF. The reason being, I can download a Word document. It's not a huge deal. But when you're downloading 100 or more of these every week, it really slows down your computer and takes forever to download multiple Word files. Whereas PDFs with D2L, you don't have to download them on your computer. They can just pop right up, and it's so helpful if you upload as a PDF. So please do that for me. There are instructions here as to how to do that. If you have any trouble, let me know. So there's that. Also here under the content section, you can see there's a module for every week in our course. So you can see those. You can begin working on those. You may work ahead if you would like. That's all there for you. So it tells you all this here on the syllabus one more time. Make sure you upload as a PDF. Make sure you include 2 key terms. Make sure you include 2 external sources. And of course, fully answer the question. That's it. Okay. With academic integrity, I am pretty sensitive to this issue. Please make sure that you're citing your sources properly. Please make sure that when you're answering the questions, you're using your own words and your own work. Pretty self-explanatory there. If you have any kind of disability and need any type of accommodation, please reach out to me. I will be more than happy to do anything I can to help you and assist you in the process. I included the IT office's phone number and email down here. In the event that you have any technical issues, you can always reach out to them and they'll be able to help you. Now, again, this is why I say do not wait until Sunday to work on your assignments, okay? Sometimes D2L does crazy things and locks you out for no reason, so I do recommend starting your assignments early in the week, so in the event that you do have any kind of issue, you have plenty of time to get that resolved and still get your assignments in on time. As people always ask me, well, Professor Harrison, how many hours should I devote to this course every week? So I hate to quantify this because everyone sort of works at their own pace and at a different schedule, but I would suggest devoting somewhere between 8 to 10 hours per week for the course. Now, that's everything all inclusive. That means reading the chapter, watching the video lecture, studying with the Quizlet, doing your quiz, and doing your written assignment. Now, just like with anything, some people learn at faster paces than others. So you may be able to do the course and get everything done in 5 hours, and for other people it may take 15. It just depends on you as a student and how quickly you learn and how quickly you can complete assignments. Um, Generally speaking, I think 10 hours, 8 to 10 is a good estimate for your average student. Um, Again, just another piece of advice, please make sure you're using your ETSU email when you have questions. Sometimes our pop-up blocker at ETSU will send you to the junk folder if you're not using your ETSU email, so please try to do that whenever possible. Make sure you read my announcement emails, pretty please. I'd send really, really important information there, so please make sure that you're actually reading those. Okay, and then the only other thing that I have for you here is our course calendar. It shows you everything you're going to be doing every week from the very beginning all the way to the very last week of the course. You can see the deadlines for every assignment is listed here. I do not believe in surprises, guys. I will never spring anything on you without giving you plenty of time to do it. That's why I like giving you the syllabus up front. Now, being the OCD student that I was, I would probably go through and plug every single one of these due dates in my phone and say, okay, on January 26th, these assignments are due. On February 2nd, these assignments are due. On February 9th, these are due. And I would just go through and plug everything into my phone. But just to give you an overview for this first week, our big focus is going ahead and reading the syllabus, familiarizing yourself with the class, and ordering your textbook. Now, I did send out an email earlier before the semester started, letting you know about our book that we'd be using. So I'm hoping that you maybe already have that ordered and on its way. Maybe you already have it. That'd be great. For this first week, please also complete the syllabus quiz. It'll ask you some questions about what we talked about here in this video, making sure you understand sort of how the class works. It's usually an easy 100 for most students. I'd also like for you to take a pre-test. Now, don't freak out. D2L will give you a real grade for your pre-test, meaning if you get a 50, it's going to show a 50. But don't freak out. I do go back and change those at the end of the week once everybody's had a chance to attempt the pre-test. It is a completion grade, so if you made an effort, you'll get 100. If you didn't do it, you'll get a 0. Like I said, D2L will initially go ahead and put whatever grade you got in the grade book, but I will manually change that at the end of the week once everybody's had a chance to attempt the pretest. So just FYI there. Once you've done that, there's also an introductory discussion board. I'd like for you just to answer the questions that are posed there. It's really just a way for us to all get to know each other, since we will never meet in person, just for us to get to talk and, what are you interested in? What do you do in your free time? What are you majoring in? That kind of stuff. So go ahead and introduce yourself on our discussion board. I'd like for you to take a look at chapters 1 and 5. Go ahead and read those, watch the video lectures, study the Quizlets, and then complete chapters 1 and 5 quizzes. And then your first written assignment is a discussion board for chapters 1 and 5. You'll just answer those 2 questions that are posed in the discussion board. Incorporate your 2 key terms and your 2 external sources. Save it as a PDF and upload it, and then reply to 2 of your peers, and you should be good. I know this probably sounds like a lot of information, but it's not as bad as it seems. It'll go pretty quickly. So that's what you're doing for the first week. If you have any questions about that, you do have my email address, so feel free to reach out to me via email at any time. And of course, if you are interested, you may always go ahead and begin working ahead for week 2 as well. That's perfectly okay as well. So that being said, I think I've covered mostly everything. As you're looking in our course, if you ever want to see your grade, you can go here under Evaluation and Grades, and it will show you that. You also have a link to discussions in the Dropbox here. Guys, I do read your submissions every week. I try to get them back to you in 1 week or less. So meaning that your first week, you'll turn everything in by Sunday at 11:59. By the following Sunday at 11:59, I hope to have feedback back to you, so you can sort of see what you're improving. You'll be able to see the feedback under the grade screen as well. So it'll give you your grade and it will show you your feedback. And guys, it does take a long time to read every student's paper and write genuine feedback for you. So please take the time to read that and actually read that, okay? Last thing I want to tell you is that here, there's nothing posted right at this moment, but when you click on news, or if you just log into D2L initially, you'll see all of our announcements for the course with everything you have to do. It'll be listed here under this news screen. So in addition to emailing it out to you, I also put it here with hyperlinks. For example, I have some things ready to go for the first week that have not populated yet because I'm still editing them. Come on, Wi-Fi. Come on. Sorry, guys. Anyway, when it loads here, it will show you our news, and it will include a couple of hyperlinks where you can just directly click on your assignments. For example, here's your stuff for the first week telling you everything I just told you. If you wanted to go straight to the pretest, you just click on the pretest button. If you want to go straight to the YouTube lecture, you just click on that. And of course, the YouTube lectures are here so you can play them. And my email address is always at the end. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful semester. If you have any questions at any point, please feel free just to reach out to me. And guys, have a wonderful day. Take care.